Hello class, very good morning. Today we are going to learn a new chapter, that's Taro's Reward. Now this story is about a beautiful thought and loving son. He works hard to fulfill his parents' wishes and gets some unexpected gift from God. So first I'm going to read the story for you, recite the story parawise, and then we'll get into the explanation of the story. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long he chopped woods in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. This made him sad, for he was a very thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parent everything that they needed. Now, Taro was a very young woodcutter who lived on a very lonely hillside. Okay, he lived with his parent and he worked very hard to earn enough to give his parents everything they needed. Whatever they needed, he wanted to give them. So day and night he used to work very hard. And what did he work? He used to go into the forest and he used to chop wood and sell them, and whatever money he get from them, he always spend on fulfilling his parents' needs. So here the character of the woodcutter is being described. The character of the Taro is being described as a very thoughtful and a very faithful son who wants to do everything for his parents, whatever he could do. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in the corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, "I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old heart good." Now, what happens? One evening, a cold, strong wind started blowing, and everyone felt very cold. It was already evening time, and a cold wind, a cold breeze suddenly blows through the window, and everyone who's sitting in the house begins to feel really cold, begins to shiver. And his father, who was very old, while getting shivered with the cold wind, he immediately utters a word. What does he utter? He says, "I wish I could have a hot cup of sake." Now, sake is a popular Japanese drink, or you could say a popular Japanese coffee. Okay, so this story is basically a Japanese story which has been again retold or narrated by an author to you. And if you look in this para, the condition of the Taro's financial condition of the Taro is being described here. The hut which he used to live in had a lot of cracks, and wind could easily blow through the cracks and make whistling sound out of it. So he lived in a very old infrastructured home, very weak home, and he was living in a very poor condition. This made Taro sadder than ever, for heartwarming drink called sake was very expensive. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. Now, on hearing his father said that I wish I could have a hot cup of sake, Taro becomes very sad because he could not afford the drink and it was very quite expensive. For him, it was very expensive. So he decided to work harder and harder and earn more money to fulfill his father's wish. So as you saw in the first paragraph, Taro was a very thoughtful and a faithful son, right? So here it is being proved. If you are being asked a question that how could you prove that Taro was a very thoughtful and a faithful son to their parent, you could write this quote that when his father wished for his sake, he felt very bad and he decided to work more harder than before to fulfill his wish for a sake. Next morning, Taro jumped out of the bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet and sweat. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as I. And with that he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bone. Now you see, this Taro, on hearing his father's wish, he feels very bad. So he decides to work harder. And next morning he gets up early and set out to work. He chopped and cut a lot of wood for the whole day without even resting for a minute. The sun was almost on his head and he felt very tired and thirsty, but he removed his jacket and started working more harder and harder for the sake, so that he could at least earn a little amount of money, so that he could warm his father's bones, so that he could make his one wish fulfilled. Then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was the sound he heard? Could it be possibly rushing water? Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in the part of the forest. He was thirsty. The axe dropped out of his hand and he ran in the direction of the sound. Taro saw a beautiful waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hand and put it to his lips. Was it water? Or was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. You see, a miracle takes place in Taro's life. While he was working, suddenly he heard the sound of rushing water. Now, as he was thirsty, he ran towards the sound, although he knew there was no stream or waterfall nearby. In these years, he has never ever heard of a waterfall or a stream or a pond flowing in the forest, and suddenly he is able to hear the waterfall sound, stream sound. It was very amusing, and plus on the other hand he was also very thirsty. So automatically the axe which he was holding in his hand dropped out of his hand, and he rushed towards the direction of the sound to have some water. To his surprise, he saw a very beautiful waterfall. He couldn't hold himself and he immediately took a sip of the water, and surprisingly it tasted like the sake which his father had wished for. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. The old man was delighted with the sake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. Now you see, Taro, as soon as he realized that the water was tasting like a snake, what he did, Taro quickly filled his pitcher with the water and took it home and gave it to his father. And as soon as his father drank one sip of the sake, this heartwarming and tasty snake, he began to started dancing in the middle of the house. All the shivering which he was having due to the cold weather went away, and he suddenly became very healthy. He also offered the snake to the old lady. Old lady was the mother. He also offered the snake to her mother, and even she found that it was actually a snake but snake and not water. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped for a visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of sake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. Thanking them for the delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she had spread the story through the whole village. Now, His father drank the snake and he found it really heartwarming and very tasty. So that afternoon, one of his neighbor visited their home. So his father and mother offered. They were very kind and faithful family. So they offered the old lady a snake who had come to visit them, and also told the story of the magic waterfall. Taro was very thoughtful and very faithful, so he told it very truthfully as to how he got the snake, because it was very expensive. No one could believe that how could Taro afford such a expensive snake. So the lady was very greedy. Greedy means lalchi. Okay, and she dragged the snake immediately, and after hearing the story, she left the house immediately. And by night, she has almost spread the whole news in all the neighborhood. She gossiped about the magic waterfall in the whole neighborhood. That evening, there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the snake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. Next morning, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all his neighbors there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic snake. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. He drank again and again, and he shouted angrily, "Water, nothing but water." Others also tried, but there was no snake, only cold water. So the next morning, again Taro set out to work very early. And he carried a larger pitcher for him to carry some snake at home. But to his surprise, what he finds? He finds a long queue of people who were filling their pitchers. They were soon disappointed, because when they tasted the waterfall, it was only a water and not a snake. The same waterfall from which the Taro had got the snake. So it was very surprising and the villagers were very angry upon Taro as they were thinking that Taro has lied to them. "We have been tricked," shouted the villagers. "Where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall." But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock when he saw how things were going. He was nowhere to be found. Now, as the people did not find any snake, they were all very angry on Taro, and they were looking for Taro, and as they could drown him, they could kill him in the waterfall for cheating them. They thought that Taro had said them a lie story to avoid them getting the snake. But Taro was wise. He was truthful. He did not do any sin. So he quietly hid behind the rock and saved himself. And when the villagers left, he kept hiding himself till the villagers left behind. And they started finding Taro everywhere to put him into this waterfall. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Taro came out from his hiding place. Was it true, he wondered? Was the snake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid, and his hands put onto his lip. It was the same fine snake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious snake. To everyone else, it gave the cold water. See what miracle it turned about. After they all went shouting on Taro and finding him, Taro came out of the rock, and he decided to taste the water again. He thought whether it was a dream, that it was a snake, or how it had happened, why it was not tasting the snake for the other villagers. So he decided to taste it again. Now Taro came out of the hiding place and again tasted the water. to him, again it tasted as the heartwarming and delicious snake. Here, the story of the taro and the magical fountain reached the king of Japan. It was so like, you could see that this waterfall was a magic waterfall, or you could say the miracle was only happening with Taro. Why? God was only trying to help Taro because he was a very thoughtful and a very faithful son. His heart was clean, so he was getting sake in the form of a water. But other villages, they were really greedy, they were not thoughtful. They wanted sake for themselves and for their greediness. So for them, the water tasted as normal as it was. Now, this news has almost spread to the whole village and to the king of Japan as well. Now we'll see what happens to Taro after this. Was he being punished by the villagers for being telling lies or playing tricks with them, which he had actually not done because he was very wise and truthful? Or did the villagers agree and realize their mistake, or they found some other way to cope up with Taro? We'll see that in the next video.